almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to the water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I get that feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home. Country roads, you take me home. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's lower the volume before we get feedback. And we'll turn this mic off to save the batteries. So do we have a sound? Yeah, I see the green. Hey, welcome everybody. Oh, Brandy, I see you're in here. At least I know I'm live, because I have messed that up before where I go not live, I go what they call unlisted, and I'm usually wind up talking to nobody, which is not a good idea. So because I am on a wireless mic, what am I looking for? Volume here, volume there, we're hitting the yellows, we're hitting the yellows there. So we should be having a good amount of sound at this point, I think. Me believes, okay? All right, so what I did is I forgot to get the Q3 camera, and I forgot to turn on the overhead camera. So now that I'm not tethered, I could actually talk to you and act so nonchalant. Well, I go over and get the Q3 camera, and at the same time, turn on the overhead camera, grab the Q3 camera, and for grins and giggles, I'm going to grab the FX2 also. So see, you have no idea this wasn't part of the show, did you? To you, it was like, oh, Peter's just walking around, talking and walking, and here I am. All right. So, oh, did I turn on the overhead camera? Let's do a double check. Let's do a double check. Okay. Let's bring this up into position. I don't know if these wheels need to be oiled or not, but feels a little tougher. So let's check the overhead camera. Nikon overhead camera. 3, 2, 1. Ah, there it is. The Nikon overhead camera. Okay. So this is the Q3. Why doesn't it? Oh, I have the tripod. We were live with this camera on the, was it the last show? Well, not the mic check show, but the one before that, that was a real show. And I had this set up on the tripod. So I had put this on, I need to put that there because if I don't keep it on the tripod head, I lose what goes with what. All right, so I turned off all of my volume so I don't hear the feedback because the feedback is a little annoying. All right, so side by side, it looks a little darker to me. Does it look darker to you? I think I can brighten that up, don't you think? It is rather dark, but it's supposed to, that's better. And let's take some of the contrast down too. You know why? Because with all the black, you honestly don't need a lot of contrast because everything has contrast in it. So I usually grab the FX2, okay? And the FX2, in my opinion, is a little bit of a superior camera, but there is just a certain amount of joy that comes with grabbing this little booger right there. So can't change the lens. You don't have a full-size HDMI. You don't have a fan. And yet I just love grabbing this guy and turning it on, take off the cap, and we could see. If I actually aim it forward, you can see. Oh, there's a, okay. So you can see right in the LCD. Did I ever mention I hate camera straps? They could choke you with them. Okay, let's go over here. And I just took a picture. Okay, so that's a picture of the front. So let's raise it up so the cup is not in there. So this is what I see, actually. Okay, so you see the, no, you don't. Let's see if I can, oh, I can't pull that out anymore. All right, so right about there, that's the bottom of my TV monitor. So this is what you see with this camera. And it's just so easy to use. It kind of like, what's the saying with the M&Ms? It melts in your mouth, not in your hands, meaning it basically just works, and that's just the way I feel about it. It basically just works. So Q3 gives me all the controls right up front. I'm in automatic mode on the aperture. I'm in automatic mode. Well, it was set up for the, where are you? For the live show on Friday night. So therefore, I was not in automatic mode. I was in 1/60th of a second. I think I was able to bring it down to 1/50th because we do 4K 24p. And it's just a fun, wonderful camera. The price is high for that little bit of fun. It's got an awesome lens cap too. I have never had it fall off, and yet there's no screw on. It's in with suction, and not only suction, friction. Friction and suction. Where have you heard that one before? Friction and suction. Okay. Now this is what I used to grab to go grab some pictures. So I just put up a set of cleats, soccer cleats, and I needed to take pictures with it. So guess what I grabbed to take the pictures? Yeah, it was this. Okay. So I think the secret to this is that it gives you a 60 megapixel image, and with that 60 megapixel image, I don't have the overhead light on, so let's do that. It'll make it come more alive. See, I'm not tethered now. I can walk around, walkie, walkie, walkie. I did get a second tripod head, and the second tripod head is for the ZR, which we're on right now. So why that is interesting is without a lot of muss or fuss. You remember years ago I used to stand for the show, and I got a little older and I got tired of standing. But if I want to stand with my tripod, head, it's so very easy to do. So we did our song. Let's put the song sheet away, because when I need to find it again, I will do that. So how are you guys doing? It's Wednesday night. You know, I woke up with a little bit of sniffles this morning. I'm not very appreciative of that. Must have been because I was hanging around Sammy, and Sammy's had a full-blown cold for quite a while. The only trouble is I didn't know you could get a cold from... Oh, it didn't go on. Oh, yes, it did. Okay. I see the Christmas tree lights are on. All right, so let's get comfortable. Sit in my chair with the rolling wheels and say, hi, how are you doing? What camera am I on? I'm on the Nikon. That should be one of everybody's favorite cameras, is the Nikon. So it just works really good. So we can close the music box. I did write to my buddies Ken and Glenn and told them, hey boys, I want to sing. Can you please make it so I can sing? Okay, so it will allow the music to go out, but it won't allow the yapping to go out. You have to fool it. So it'd be so much easier if it allowed me to just let the vocals go out along with the music. Alrighty. So let's see who's in here with me tonight. Well, number one is Randy. Okay, so I am going to do a mic test a little bit more, and I'm going to turn the air conditioner on. And the reason I'm turning the air conditioner on is, number one, we have been getting back into the 80-degree weathers. So we have one weather. So the 80-degree weather actually is starting to let heat back in the house, okay? And then number two, I think this mic sounds pretty good in terms of sound. Background noise and stuff like that, any wireless. I tried the Sony. Where is it? Oh no, I put it back in the kitchen. And it's basically the equal of this. So this gives me two mics. Howl brought it or sent it to me, and I'm very grateful. End of story. I don't want to hear about any hissing. I don't want to hear about anything. It's one and done. It's stuck on my shirt. And until Mr. Camera Junkie brings me the little connection where I have the earpiece up here, this is where it's at. Okay. I have that set wrong. Let's bring that back up. Okay. That's the compression. So let's say hi to Randy. He says, hi, Peter. Hi, Randy. I love you, buddy. You're starting your sequence for the weekend. Randy has quite a busy weekend coming up. It is a funeral, so it will be not a joyful thing, but Randy put a lot of work into creating a slideshow. It's his uncle, or one of his uncles, and he created a slideshow, and I've seen it a few times, and boy, did he do a really good job. Randy does an amazing job with slideshows. So thumbs up to Randy. And they're going to have a singer there, and the singer is Scotty. I'm kidding. Scotty, Randy's in Texas, Scotty's in Michigan. So the two are not going to meet anytime soon, okay? So that is what we've got going on. But Scotty, love you. Thank you for being here. Hey, hi, hey, and howdy. Sly was missing in action last night. Oh, you know, I slept through it and I forgot to look. Oops, my bad. So what do you mean, MIA? There was no show? Okay, then I didn't miss it. Oh, I went to sleep because Sly wasn't on. But that's not the truth. I went to sleep and I didn't wake up in time to watch the show. And then I woke up like at 1, 2 in the morning. I watched a little bit of YouTube. I didn't remember. Honestly, I thought last night was Monday. So I didn't remember to check. And then I still felt sleepy and I rolled over and wound up going back to bed. So yeah, I was right there waiting for the show to go on. No, I wasn't. I'm sorry. My apologies to whoever the apologies are supposed to go to. So Randy says Sly is traveling. Okay, so she is on the road again. Do I have that song? No. What from Willie Nelson? I have. Okay, True Love. I have Everybody Loves Somebody, Country Roads. Okay, this is the one from Willie Nelson. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I should have. And maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I could have. I'm singing it without music now, so. Anyway, I don't have that song. Maybe that's one to add so I can sing it here. I'm enjoying the singing. I still get nervous when I'm singing. You'd think I wouldn't, right? It doesn't take much to trip me up. It's just the way it is. And until I actually become comfortable, I try so hard not to make a mistake. And if I make a mistake, that trips me up. It makes me flustered. When I do here, if I burp or I tap the mic, I don't get flustered, okay? It's like, this is what I was meant to do. But when I sing, if I make a mistake, I get flustered. So when I get more confident, what I will do is purposely make a mistake. So when you purposely make a mistake, you do have to recover. And the point is for me, is to purposely make a mistake and to recover without turning red in the face and losing my place and all that kind of stuff. So Sammy is here. And hi, Sammy. How you doing, buddy? I just spoke to him a little while ago. Country Roads, Take Me Home. He's singing along with me. Sammy loves to sing. And Randy says the Leica Q3 has no microphone port either. I didn't realize that. So how would I do a microphone input on this? You're just going to use the mics that are on the top, and it's got 2 stereo mics. I can see it here, and there's nothing on this side, but Randy did put a handle on here. Okay, so that's something that I should have been saying quite often, but I didn't. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I should have. And now Norm is here and he's saying hello. Da-da-dum, da-da-la-da-da-dum. Ooh, I want that Leica. Ba 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 da bum bum. But Norm is a Nikon guy, and you know what, Norm? The Nikon is one of the prettiest pictures. They're so close now. I've gotten where I'm not so bad. Here we go. I'm not so bad at tuning these cameras in. Okay, so yeah, my hair is flat because I just sprayed it, and instead of blow drying it where it's fluffy and poofy, it's flat. And this is what I look, a bigger face, a bigger chin. Isn't that nice? Okay. Well, thank God I don't embarrass that easily anymore. I used to everything. But You got to like that Leica from Norm. Love you, Norm. Thank you for being here. We like the Nikon. We even have the old Olympus in here. So I have the A7C Mark II up for sale. Somebody just lowballed me again. Heck no, I love the camera. Until they pay the price, the camera stays. And if somebody does buy it at the right, it's $1,900 is the price that I have it set to. So if you look it up on B&H or Adorama, it's right in line with that price. But if they buy it here, they're going to come pick it up. There's no shipping. There's going to be no tax. Okay. And I do believe I'm a hair lower. And this is a 10 plus like new camera. It's not a 8 or 9 where could show some wear. It only has 313 clicks. I haven't gone out and used it out, you know, in the streets or in a visit. It actually does video heavily, which is this is the one I'm talking about, the A7C Mark II. So the only reason I actually still have this for sale is I put the Panasonic S5 Mark II up for sale, and I packaged it with the Panasonic lenses, because once the camera goes, I have no place else to use the Panasonic lenses. And I also put this one up, and the point was whichever one was going to sell, whichever one found its new home first, the other one would just wind up staying. But then I thought about, you know what made a change for me is the Leica. Honest to God, that's what made a change for me, is the fact that I use one lens, and that lens allows me to crop all the way almost to 100 millimeters down to 4.5 megapixels from a 60 megapixel camera. And if you haven't experienced it, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but darn if it doesn't actually work in real life really, really good. It's surprising to me because I'm thinking, you know, you frame and take the picture. And then I got a little bit to where you give it a little more room and crop. So the camera that you're looking at now actually has 33 megapixels. I have no idea what this guy has, okay? Maybe I need to write that on there so I can remember. So this is what, 10 years old? Maybe 8, because I think I got this around 2017, 2018. And when they updated it to firmware 3.0, we added phase detection focus. And for the longest time, Panasonic did not add phase detection focus. So the only way you could get a real good focus system is you bought the old Olympus, OMD EM1 Mark II. And this has firmware 3. Whatever they're up to. But when they went to firmware 3.0 and then started raising it from there, this camera came alive, became useful. You could actually track, you can do video. It was face detection, including eye, including closest eye on a 10-year-old camera. Okay, so it's not quite 10. I need to start saying 8. Somebody, Randy, if you want to look up and see when did the Olympus OMD EM1 Mark II hit the airwaves. So I had bought it. It's okay, and I put it to the side, and then they came to the market with, they came to the people with firmware 3.0. So there's something about firmware 3.0 that makes a camera a killer, because it also happened for Nikon. The Nikon Z6, I bought it and I was so disappointed, I actually sent it back. And that's when I bought my first Sony, the A7 Mark III, the A7 Mark III. And I sent the Nikon back, and that was kind of shocking to me. Why am I over on the side? I believe we can do better than that. There we go. Let's raise it up a little bit. Oh, I did put the new tripod head in here. New tripod head is awesome. I don't have another one to show you, but it swivels left and right, okay? And it goes up and down. No more bald head. Not bald. Not Norm. Sorry, Norm. I love you. Don't get mad, okay? But it's no more bald head, which makes it easier if I wanted to do a stand-up show. So all I have to do is go raise the handle, move it up, and then move it down, and it doesn't discombobulate everything. So all three of my tripods now, I have them reversed, which means instead of the stick being behind, and you go like this and like this, all right, the stick is now in front. So I pulled it all the way around, the stick is in the front, and to raise any one of these cameras, or to raise all of three of these cameras to standing position is not a lot of work, and you don't lose your original place. That's the biggest complaint on the ball head. As soon as you loosen the ball head, you lose your original place. So you learn to grab it hard, loosen it just a little bit so you could try to move it, and then it doesn't move very much. You loosen it a little bit more, and boom, the camera will flop, it'll go, and you've lost home position. So with the these new tripod heads that I have, which last Friday I showed it, so the link is in the description. The link might actually be in the description now. I might actually have the link to the tripod head that I'm using in the description. And I can highly recommend it. It's not a piece of junk. It actually functions very well. The only thing that it's missing is it doesn't have the overall level. So if your camera is tilted like that, you're stuck. Okay, if it's on a tripod, you're going to have to move one of the legs to straighten it out. Okay, so there's a model called Newer, N-E-E-W-E-R, that does the same thing. And it adds one more feature. It adds a foot that you can swivel almost like a mini ball head. And once you level it, you lock that in place, and you still have your pan, okay, and tilt motions, and you don't lose your position. Very simple. So we have upgraded to make things easier and easier. I keep upgrading. Eventually, you guys won't need me. They have AI that replicates people now. Boy, does that kiss. It pisses me off. Okay? It looks like you're looking at a person, but if you pay attention, they do the same thing every time. Okay? And then you know it's AI. So they had one where a 92-year-old woman was telling what she ate and this and that, and she never moves her head. I wake up in the morning, I have yogurt, and when I have yogurt, sometimes I put a little bit of honey on it. Now that action gets repeated over and over, exactly the same, okay? And sometimes the lips don't match, and she might go, ha, 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 okay? So I see it as a way where a person hides, and I don't like that just to start with. But then when they take a likeness from a person that's already passed away, God rest their souls, like Billy Graham or Kenneth Hagin or any one of the preachers that I like, and they have passed away many years ago. Who's that famous preacher from South Korea? Has the biggest church in the world. Well, they have created as if he was preaching fresh again. Well, I don't like that because you don't know what he would say today. There's somebody else is putting words in his mouth, okay? I think AI, they think is going to take over the world. I think it's going to crash on itself because what they're just assuming goodness in everything. And they don't go with the idea that AI can actually be a bad thing, and you can come against a good AI with a bad AI. When they clash, now you have two computers that are clashing. But as far as me asking, what did I ask today? I asked ChatGPT something today, and I can't remember what I asked it. And ironically, the answer was no. So if I open ChatGPT here, it does keep a history. So I'm going to take a quick look. Apparently they have something new. Nope, that wasn't it. Oh, that's what it was. What's the temperature of my soil 6 feet under? And I'm not getting morbid on you. But they have a, oh, and here's what it answered. The question was, what's the temperature of my soil here in Miami, in my zip code? And I did put my zip code in. 6 feet under the ground right here. And it says the temperature is a range of a consistent 72 to 76 degrees. And the most common average is 74 degrees. So why did I go and ask ChatGPT that question? Because I had just read, and I had thought about this over the years, that how do people stay cool when it's so hot? Especially in the Middle East, when they had all these in the desert and stuff like that. Well, they would make airways under the ground, force the air to go under the ground, and it brings the air to ground temperature, and they would have, without any electricity, they would have cool air. And I'm thinking, like, one of my biggest bitches and moans is our electric bill is just, at the summertime, it'll go up to $600 because we don't have central air. My parents did not want to put central air in this house. So when we inherited the house, and I'm living here again, I'm living with what they had. So my mother and dad used to argue all the time. I want it colder, I want it warmer, I want it warmer, I want it colder. So they put individual room wall units, and those suckers are very, very expensive. So I no longer own the house because I would have installed, if I had the money before I went through the hardship that I went through, which most of you guys know what it was, which thanks to Randy, not because he donated any money for it, but he gave me a plan so that I can get out of this, what is it, 4 or 5 year program to clear out my debts and credit cards, because the lawsuit knocked my finances for a loop. It went up almost to $100,000. And lawyers have this bad habit of wanting to get paid. So, long story short, I went into a program, and they close all your credit cards. So up until 2 weeks ago, I didn't have credit cards for the last 3 years. So I am on an accelerated program to clear out that debt many months ahead of time, saving me about almost $930 in interest, because these companies actually will reduce your debt, but they charge 17 or 18% interest on the new balance. Okay, so if it's a $50,000 balance and they reduce it with their negotiations and everything, they usually come in at about half. So it would have been around $25,000. Okay, so now you're $25,000 cheaper, but they are on that monthly payments for the $25,000. They are charging a hefty kick in the nuts price. So you actually go from 50,000 to 25,000, then they add their kick in the nuts, and it goes from 25,000 that you owe, and you wind up paying around 33 to 34,000. So they collect. That's how they make their money. They're going to make almost $10,000 on you. For me, it was around 7,000. Okay. So I was talking to Randy, and he said, "Get out from under that. The interest is very high on that, and not only that, they're sucking out a big chunk of your money every month, and it's too tight." So I am now within days of it actually being killed, and that will end it. Instead of it was due at to finish at the beginning of 2027, now it's going to end probably in April, and that was the plan that that Randy got me into. So let's go back to where we were. They were saying hi. Randy's saying hi to Sammy. Sammy says, by the way, I sent you a message on Facebook. He wants you to give him some feedback on that app that he's made. And even Tom Buck is going to be helping out. And in a very positive move, because Sammy is so well connected, Sammy has got Bill Murray helping him. Yes, Groundhog Day Bill Murray. Okay, I would have never guessed. Now, he's not playing with the app, but he came to the school that Sammy goes to, and Sammy has some pictures, okay, and a movie that that Bill Murray actually participated in. And Bill Murray gave Sammy permission to actually use some of that imagery with his face. I can't get Bill Murray. I can't get Tom Buck to give me his face. Oh, I did communicate with Tom Buck, so he says hi. And Scotty says, yeah, you're right. I remember you standing and eating M&Ms. I used to have a pot of M&Ms. And I stopped with the sugar, and the M&Ms had to go. So now I have a smoothie and very low sugar. I think the whole thing has got less than 10 carbs. It's got something that I did add is, have you guys heard of Ceylon or Ceylon? Ceylon, C-E-Y-L-O-N. Reminds me of the Cylons that were in the Battlestar Galactica. That cinnamon is supposed to be as powerful, if not even better, than the medication metformin. So metformin is used to help stabilize your blood, but the saying is that the cinnamon can do that also. But you need to take about a teaspoon of it a day. I put a teaspoon here. It has a cinnamon aftertaste, but it's not packed with cinnamon. I can taste the coffee. That's thanks to Randy and Roy. So Sammy says he's getting sick from the phone calls. You getting a lot of phone calls there, buddy? Okay, so Randy's talking to Sammy. Sammy says that I sound better tonight. Yeah, I was sniffling this morning, but now I'm not sniffling that bad, to be honest with you. Randy says, oh, 92. So summer is this spring crap is not spring. Maybe up north, but here, he said he woke up and it was 86 in the bedroom. So you woke up all sweaty. See, I don't like that. So I got the air conditioner on. Whatever we did the other couple of nights, it worked. I'm not sure what you're referencing, Sammy. Are you talking about the app? For me, the app is working very good. So Scotty says, if I sang at the memorial, the uncle might rise and strangle me. But seriously, accept my condolences, Randy. Yeah, his uncle passed away. So Sammy is saying sorry for your loss, Randy. And Randy is saying thank you to everybody. Randy says the sound is internal only. Internal on the Q3. Oh, okay, because it doesn't have the mic. You've got to use the built-in mics on it. Randy says you look 3D, Peter, with the Nikon ZR and that 50 1.4. Yeah, I love 50. Where are you? I love 1.4 lenses, but 1.8s aren't bad. So I would say the background is blown out on here, pretty good. But we are using 85, so an 85 will do that better than a 50 millimeter. So the 1.4 lenses is what my heart would say I want the most. 50 millimeter 1.4. Okay. So Randy's answering a question that the Olympus, how many megapixels does it have? So when we finish with this camera and it times out to the next camera, we're going to move over to the Olympus EM1 Mark II. And I didn't remember the megapixels, and I asked Randy, there's his answer. It's 20 megapixels. You can't say that's bad for a Micro Four Thirds. Here it is right here. So this is a 20 megapixel camera. We're running 24p, and it does have a 48 shutter speed. It's an 8-year-old camera, but it is their flagship camera. So this is a good find for those that don't want to spend a lot of money, but they want 4K, they want 24p, they want to go with 1/48 of a second shutter speed. They want, what else is it? I have a dummy battery in that one, so we're not working the batteries. So it is, the Olympus is a winner chicken dinner. So here's Roy. He flew in all the way from Aussie, Australia. Oh, so it came out in 2016. So we are at 10 years. I could start saying 10 years. Because I bought this, the first one. This is actually the second one I bought. I don't have the first one here anymore. But I bought it when it came out. And I was a little disappointed in the focus system because it was still heavy contrast. Well, they added phase, P-H-A-S-E, phase detection, autofocus, and a firmware, which I didn't know you could do. So I'm purposely trying not to irritate my throat. So you got to admit, it ain't bad. So Roy is talking to Randy. And Randy's answering Roy. Yes, and you replied. Did you email me, he said? Yes, and you replied. But I bought another thing instead. So Sammy's going, that's amazing. Roy says, if I can't afford something that I don't use credit, I don't get it. Yeah, well, I was kind of forced to learn that whole procedure, Roy. Thanks to you. They probably heard you. By the time you can afford it, the price should be lower. Actually, that's true. Roy says that French coffee does have cinnamon. I'm having French coffee. I am having French coffee. Sammy sent me a singer. There's a French singer, a lady from many, many years ago. I am not going to repeat what I have to say about that, but yes. Up, 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 up. I was joking with you, Peter, that you got sick from the phone call from my cold. Well, I took 2 Zycams today, one in the morning and one at night. So hopefully, if it is a cold, because sometimes it's not a cold. This is, what do they call it when you sneeze and everything? Hay fever season or allergy season? It could be that, okay? And my brother was sniffling, so guess where it would have come from? Not you, Sammy. I mean, bop, bop, bop. So he was saying the wireless mic. It sounds amazing. Well, that's good. That's where we want to arrive, right, Sammy? We want to arrive at the point where we can actually say things are sounding good. It's not as important these days, but I love fast glass. Yeah, well, you and I, Roy, live in a different world. Fast glass is important. For everybody else, they can get a kick in the glass. It rhymes with glass. First mirrorless only had contrast AF, and it was terrible. They went back to phase detection. I didn't know that. Alrighty, so here we go. This is our Wednesday night Have a Good Time show. I'm not going to launch into anything religious because you know I could do that really, really well. And you know I enjoy that tremendously. That's because I have a love in my heart for the Lord. And there we go. We're off and running. Okay? So what does cross my mind a lot lately is geography. Looking at that Strait of Hormuz, I'm thinking, what a bad setup. Okay? And now Saudi Arabia is making overtures that they're going to cut right through the land and make a canal that starts up at the height of that waterway, go right through Saudi Arabia and come out right into the Mediterranean. Okay? And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, you're going to go through all that trouble, and they got to go through mountains and stuff. Why don't they instead invent a new railroad system unique just to that part of the world? And maybe it could be 3 tracks or 4 tracks. So if you've ever seen these things where they raise and lower the ships like the Panama Canal, if you've ever seen where the ships are actually launched, they come down and they splash into the water. So they could create, instead of creating a canal through the desert, which, can you imagine the amount of dirt they have to move? It would be so much easier to create a rock bed, create a whole new train system, brand new. Don't follow the conventional train system that we have today. The new system could definitely include the track system from the existing system. This way you could actually use the engines, okay, that will do the pulling. But those are 2 tracks, and everywhere around the world they're the same distance. They're too close together, and the reason that they're in the same distance apart, and that is the pattern that the entire world uses for a railway system, is when it was invented, they had to go through a narrow pass, and they had to make it fit. And therefore, the entire rail system is like the car is that wide, and the rails are like that. And now you can't change it. All the tracks that are laid around the world. But if they're going to do something over there, instead of making a canal, they could make a very wide rock bed, which means they'd have all these dump trucks piling in rocks. Instead, they're going to excavate and they're going to pull out enough to go, what is it, 84 feet deep, I think I read. And it doesn't quite make sense. They could put the regular rail and then put 1 additional rail on each side, even wide, or they could make 2 sets of rails after the regular rail. The only reason to use the regular rail, by the way, is so they can use existing engines. They don't have to create a new engine. So if the system is electric, they might create a new engine. So I would think laying a rock bed across a country would be a lot easier than establishing a new canal. And because they're at different elevations, they're going to have the gates and the lifts to raise the water, lower the water. So what the ship would have to do is the reverse of when it got launched. It would come into a area, okay, and I'm not quite sure. I'm not an engineer, so I'm not quite sure how it would be. I don't know if the cradle would go under it, but the whole ship would just get lifted up and cradled, and then just rail itself across Saudi Arabia, the whole country. It even has to go through another country because Saudi Arabia doesn't go from end to end. So the choices are Yemen, or which is very unstable from what I have heard in the reports. But they're going to have to build a canal through Yemen, and Yemen is at an eternal civil war, so you don't know who's going to make the attack. Okay. Or there's a country a little bit to the north where the opposite of Yemen. They're very stable. They don't want anybody bothering them. So whatever the width of railroad tracks, make it 10 times wider, put a set of railroad tracks as your center track, okay, and then put a set of tracks way out here so that you can easily cradle those freighters. And then the freighters will just mosey along, go across, and they'd roll right back down into the Mediterranean. To me, that makes a lot more sense than building a canal through a whole country. That's a lot of digging, okay? And if you sink a ship there, you've clogged the canal. So I'm not quite sure what they could do. They could damage the rail system. I mean, Iran has no scruples, obviously. They lost, and they won't roll over and lay dead. Trump needs to finish them. You know, I don't have anything against the people of Iran, but that country, most of you guys are not old enough, or maybe many of you are. Iran was called Persia, obviously, but Iran was actually a Western-style country until you had crazy, radical, religious people take over. That's when they took over the hostages and the embassy of the United States. They ousted the Shah of Iran, and they turned the whole country into a religious hypocrisy, okay? And the religious leaders, who were not politicians, took over, and, you know, Islam is a fake religion. Sorry to say it like that, okay? Muhammad had a dream in a cave, and it was supposedly an angel, and Galatians specifically states, any person or angel that comes and preaches you anything other than the gospel of Jesus, remember this is in the Bible, and this is Paul talking, you're cursed. So Islam is cursed. It came from an angel preaching something different than the gospel of Jesus. Same thing with Mormonism. And whatever religion was started with an angel coming and giving a revelation and teaching something other than the virgin birth, okay, sinless life, vicarious death, and physical resurrection, if an angel or human preaches something contrary to that, you're not even supposed to have anything to do with them, according to Galatians. This is not my idea. I didn't make it up. But the part that's intriguing is that it's cursed. Okay, so all those people that choose to go into that religion or any other religion that was started with a vision with an angel, according to the Bible, it's a cursed item. God is not kidding. He didn't let his son die for people to come up with some new concoction. It's a take it or leave it. But then they come in and they pervert it, and there's a curse placed on that for that perversion. So you look at anything that was started with a visitation from an angel, and it preached anything other than those 4 basic premises of what Christianity stands on. It's got to include all 4: a virgin birth, a sinless life, the death on the cross, and the physical resurrection of the body of Jesus. That's the bedrock of what Christianity is. Okay? And if somebody comes in and says, I'm an angel and I'm giving you a new thing, that we've canceled everything, that God doesn't like Israel anymore, and now you need to start something because God is going to bless you instead of Israel, okay? Because God made a covenant with Israel. The important part here is not Israel. It's that God made a covenant. God gave his word, okay? And God did not cancel his word. How would that stand if God canceled his word? We can't keep anything as for sure. God could change his mind on anything, anytime. And he said that he doesn't change yesterday or today. So when you had this guy, Muhammad, come out of the cave and said, I got a new revelation. God has canceled. He doesn't like the Jews anymore. And now we have taken the place of the Jews. Cursed, according to the Bible, not according to me. Okay, I normally don't curse things. I have, but it's not a normal part of my life. All right, so all the people over there that are following the religion are under a cursed religion. And it did go downhill for the people in Iran. They had a Western-style businesses, malls, cars, flights. The economy was bustling. Then these religious people rose up and, oh, no, we've left our religion. We have to take over. And they did it with force because their Quran says you do it with force. And then you got the Ayatollah Khomeini, okay? And people were killed. They just killed a 19-year-old boy that's a wrestler, okay? Because of something very stupid. And they ended his life. And they hung him in public. That's a travesty. That country needs to have a regime change. They need to go back to having a political system where the people are free. The people are living in bondage. Same thing in Cuba. Those people, but it's not a religious state, but they're living in bondage. Okay, and I know that firsthand because they have drives here in Miami. Leftover medicines. They desperately need medicine. Give your leftover medicines here. Okay, gauze pads, diapers, all kinds of things. They need to send it because the country's falling apart. Okay, and the people can't revolt. So thank God that we have a leader. It could have been anybody, but God picked this guy, and he is toppling these evil, evil regimes. And the thing that makes them evil is the people suffer worse and worse. So in Venezuela, same thing. Country is oil rich, and it was all stolen from them. And only the leaders in there make the money. Chevron was there, Shell was there. All those offices were taken over by soldiers. It's no longer a company for Shell or from Chevron, or it's now a state company. Okay? So what we're watching in Iran is a toppling of a government, but they need to finish the job. The people need to be set free. If the people vote and they want a religious system, that needs to be what goes on. But those people were not given a choice. They were forced into it. And if you don't wear this piece right or that piece right, you go to a local court and they can put you to death. Women are owned. It's a possession, like a dog. I believe the people would not choose that if they had the option. So what you're seeing is a biblical activity that's going on over there. Now, the bad guy, the Antichrist, is probably going to come from that area because he's going to try to bring the entire world under one religion. Guess what religion that's going to be? Not the one that you're going to like, okay? So it's important that we don't go like, well, whatever it is, what it is, you know. It's not true. When it starts to infringe on your freedom, I think we have to be vigilant in that the one thing on the entire planet that's standing in the way of any religion, but mostly the Muslim, the Islamic religion, from taking over stronger is the Constitution of the United States. So now you could see that let's attack the Constitution, get rid of that, and then they can do what they want here. So I guess I did get into a little politics and all that kind of stuff. All right, guys, I'm basically finished with the show. It's been an hour, and we talked cameras for a little bit, and we did what I said I wasn't going to do. See, let God be true and every man a liar. So thank you for coming in tonight. God willing, and the bridge isn't up. What's going to happen Friday night? We're going to have another show, okay? And hopefully it'll be a fun show. And my goal is the sky, not the grave. And, oh yeah, now, Carlos, now you come in. But I still love you, okay? I appreciate you coming in a little late to the party. Yeah, tonight it's 9 to 10. On Friday it's 10 to 11. But I did sing a song at the beginning, so you might want to watch the beginning. And I have to go watch it too to see how how the music part of it, because that's the tricky part, to be able to hear and sing and broadcast and sing at the same time is kind of like a juggling act. I'm not sure if I got it quite figured out, but we are getting better. So I'm turning the air conditioner off, saving power, okay? So I love you all. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate you. Let's keep each other in our prayers because we are going through difficult times. I respect everybody else's point of view too, but it is my show. So I get to talk about my point of view. That's the way it is. You could always click off, or you could always give it a thumbs up. That's a possibility. A thumbs up. You could do that. You could still do that. I'm still alive. All right. I can't think of anything else to bring up. Let's keep Randy in our prayers as he goes through a difficult weekend. And that's all I could think of other than a hello to everybody. And now it's going to be a goodbye to everybody. Good night, my love. Pleasant dreams. Sleep tight, my love. May tomorrow be...